got audio.
There it is.
We're here? I heard you clear your throat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like on about a 20-second lag, but
You got audio.
Do we have the
there
audio,
it is.
folks?
They won't
We're here?
tell you for
I heard you clear your throat.
Sound.
Yeah, it's like on about a 20-second lag, but
You got audio.
Do we have the audio,
there it is.
folks? Dude, we have to like
They
restart.
won't
We're here?
tell you for
Alright, so I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I think it'll be okay.
Sound.
yeah, it's like on about a 20-second
We have a little bit better of a mic here.
Do we have the audio? Dude, we have to like
Alright,
restart.
hopefully we didn't We're just
here?
lose everybody.
Alright, so I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I think it'll be okay.
Sound.
We have a little bit better of a mic here.
Do we have the audio? Dude, we have to,
Hopefully,
like,
alright,
restart.
hopefully we didn't
We're
just
here?
lose everybody.
Alright, so I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I think it'll be okay.
Hopefully we didn't just lose everybody. So I'm gonna try the other mic now. I think it'll be okay. Just tag?
We have a little bit better of a mic here.
Do we have the audio?
I think it's good. Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
Alright, so I'm gonna try the other mic now. I think it'll be okay.
Sounds like the end of the Beatles or something. That song. All right, are we good now? Did someone fuck it up? Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that.
Do we have the audio?
I think it's good.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of the Beatles or something.
It's like a cacophony.
All right, are we good now? Did someone fuck it up? Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G
It's like a
Live.
cacophony.
All right, are we good now? Like 10 minutes. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
I'm gonna try the other mic now.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G
It's like a
Live.
cacophony.
All right, are we good now? Like start the program. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
Finally figured out how to make fun of this.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G Live. All right, are we good now? Like start the program. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
Finally figured out how to make fun of this.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G Live. All right, are we good now? Like start the program. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
Finally figured out how to make fun of this.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G Live. All right, are we good now? Like start the program. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now.
Alright, hopefully we didn't just lose everybody.
Finally figured out how to make fun of this.
I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Welcome to 4G Live. All right, are we good now? Like start the program. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. I think we're good now. I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? I can't tell. Sounds like the end of. Jay, what is going on? Let's turn this down. If anything
different. Is it good now? I think I figured it out.
I got no audio now.
I think it'll come back in a second. We're like a little behind. Are we good now?
Shit.
I think we're good now. Can we
Yeah.
make it? Is the loop over? Thank you for joining us for this experiment. I think it's good. Thank you
Oh,
for
man.
joining us. This has been an experiment of the 424 live stream. We wanted to perform.
Feel free to sample that if you need it.
Yeah, if you need it for something, sample away. That was Jay and I's live performance piece.
Yep. Performance art. That's what we do
Entitled
now.
Live from the Cafeteria. I hope you guys liked it. This is a momentous historic occasion. Thanks for checking it out.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been nothing but problems. So Brian, Ben, and Tim and I were streaming this past weekend, and Brian had his whole audio set up, and it just like didn't work right. We figured it out in post that we were able to record all the stuff we did, but
Yeah.
it just wouldn't do it properly. So, but I think after tonight, we're gonna get this. It's gonna be like we're gonna win. We're gonna be winning so much that you're gonna be tired of
I
winning.
think the way that you do it is you push Control Alt Delete and
Yeah.
close whatever that is. This seems to be where your issue lies.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I tested this out a couple times and then it never quite works. You're right. Any more room?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I fucking hit my arm on something. I don't even know what.
Maybe the
Not sure.
LEDs. I don't know, man. I'm just glad that we finally got this going. I'm going to check to see if we're still streaming. Yeah, good.
That's what the high school cafeteria sounds like in hell, actually.
We need a pedal that can do this on command.
Yeah, you just put a momentary switch across the feedback pot on a delay pedal and you can do things like that.
That sounds cool. I'll have to get you one of those, Tim. Dude, there's always something with this stuff. It's like, I'm glad that we finally got it straightened out. I think I know how I did that too, so we could maybe do another one at the end. Oh my god, I'm just glad that we finally figured it out, folks. Knock on wood. And hopefully the power doesn't go out because it's like currently storming here, so if we suddenly go black and we're gone, you'll know why. But anyway, so Jay, what did you think of our performance? Did we like do a good job on the feedback loop? Oh, we didn't use oh, is that going down already?
Oh, that's what I thought of the performance.
Oh, I see. We should have added some Kevin Shields and Mac alarms in there. Oops. So let's get. You feeling spooky, Jay?
Every day of my life.
Welcome to the 424 recording live stream. Things are happening. we...
We've eclipsed the usefulness of the Kevin Shields and Mac DeMarco alarms.
I think we covered it. I think we covered it. Trying to get more light on you here. I'm not sure why. Okay. All right. I think we figured it out. We figured it out, guys. It's working. What's up, Skiz? He said panic attack inducing.
Yeah.
All right.
There's that thing.
Whew. Had to get that out of the system there. Yeah, so what's good, Jay? I think you started explaining about the mixing you've been up to lately, and it sounded like it wasn't. It hasn't been too great.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. You probably couldn't hear it over that cacophonous feedback loop, but
Not over our experimental noise project.
correct. So, yeah, it was a band that had hit me up about some recording and decided they didn't have the budget for it, and it's good right there. So they decided to take matters into their own hands and track it, and
Thanks to.
yeah, I mean it sort of came out. The tracks that I now have to mix are sort of a little worse for wear, but whatever, it'll be fine.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're looking primed up, dude. I mean, that sounds like. I mean, you kind of knew what was going on, getting into it. You were getting into though, right?
Sort of. You know, but it was like,
They should have just recorded with you to begin with.
or at least let me know, you know, when they were going to be tracking it so I could go over and help get sounds, because, you know, that always, I don't know, it always makes things better if you don't have to do all kinds of fuckery on the backside. So, and it's not like they ship me tracks from like fucking Yugoslavia. It's like, you know, I live right around the corner. So I easily could have gone there and helped straighten out some of the mic faux pas and the fucked up phase things that happened.
it's really weird that they like opted to like do it themselves. You know, I mean, it's not weird, but it's like
really just budget. I mean, it's just like anything else.
It just seems like it's becoming more work on the back end. Like you probably could have cracked it out. What's the deleted Gibson video? I haven't heard about that.
I don't know. This Gibson thing is getting way too much fucking traction.
Let's talk about it. I have no idea what's going on. So what? Matt, I see Matt's been.
They're
dropping
basically
the thing.
accusing everybody who's ever made a guitar pretty much of like stealing their fucking designs.
I heard that they were suing somebody.
Dean.
Right? Oh,
Dean is the newest one.
All right, opinions on the deleted. What was the context of the deleted video? Play authentic or else. I think is that what you're dropping in the chat, Matt? Yeah, I'm not up to date either. This is pretty. Sounds like you're the most up to date.
Just because
Of the two
social
of us.
media, I watch the social media shit pipe and they keep showing, people keep posting stuff about it.
I'm curious about this play authentic or else video. It sounds like they're like shit posting or something. Oh, Jason said his daughter walked in and said, "Who is this Mikey?" For context, my daughter calls Mike. Yes, there's no prompt on that. I think that's the funniest thing. Nobody's ever called me Mikey, but for some reason I'm known as that in the Lambeth household. This is really weird. It's huge news. Mike has never heard of it. Dude, I try to stay out of it, man. Like Switzerland over here. I'm looking it up on Music Radar right now. Could probably bring it up. No, we're not gonna fuck with that. It seems happy now.
I see big discounts on Gibson copies.
I don't know. Let's just type in Gibson controversy. I think that's what Matt's dropping in the thing. But Mel Gibson controversy.
Well,
What's that all about?
We all know about that one. I think anyway. You heard about that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I mean,
I think it was like in like the early 2000s. So.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's like, yeah. I see Gibson Guitar faces imminent bankruptcy after 116 years in business. Are Gibson guitars killing the rainforest? Wow. Gibson versus Dean. Oh, here we go. This must be part of it. All right, so we're checking out the Gibson controversy right here. 5 key points. Let's check it out. Gibson filed an official complaint against Armadillo in May. What's that?
Armadillo?
Yeah. Oh, trademark infringement. Gibson subsequently sent a letter to Dean's dealers, because they're copying it. Trademark registration dates are important. It says that the Dean ones were actually released 20 years earlier. Gibson put this is what Map was putting up. Gibson put up a controversial YouTube video urging people to play authentic. A now deleted video, Gibson's director of brand experience. What kind of title is that? Came down hard on copycats and counterfeiters. I almost said copyfitters. He cautioned brands, boutique or otherwise, against producing forgeries of Gibson's designs and headstock inlays. You've been warned. The video led to an avalanche of negative responses on social media sites and was quickly taken down. But not before nice. Whatever goes on the internet stays on the internet forever. Don't forget, kids. Armadillo sent its own letter to its dealer network. So, I mean, Gibson's in trouble, right? Like, they've been in trouble for like a long time.
I think they're grasping at fucking straws to try to.
It's kind of funny, like,
find a foothold financially. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like they've been out of touch with their customers for a long time, and if they're making shitty guitars and other people are counterfeiting them, then maybe they should make better guitars. I don't know. There's an idea for it.
He said he wants the live.
Easy here for Gibson guitars, and today I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about originality and what it means to play authentic. You know, for 125 years now, Gibson's been shaping sound across generations.
Well, my first
genres of
reaction would be that this guy looks like a dickhead.
To the turn of the century, with Orville Gibson's
his attitude too is like so holier than thou, and it's only like 20 seconds in. He's like talking like I don't know.
Which helped shape sound across all genres, to our semi-hollow body and solid body instruments of the late 1950s and early 1960s, which helped define the sound of rock and roll. Gibson's been innovating the whole time.
It's kind of like
about some of those innovations. And first, the one I got in my hands, the big daddy of them all, the Les Paul.
So you want to pause it and say what do you think so far?
I think he's paying a stylist a lot to try to make him look like a primped up version of one of the Ramones. That's what I think.
I think he's like patronizing too. Like,
yeah, he's an asshole.
This is our awesome company. This is what we did. If you don't know it, fuck you. Here's what we got going on.
This is also a guy that like has a title at the company but no skin in the game.
Right.
Keep in mind.
Top design originally came out in 1952 and is iconic to rock and roll as the name that it
preachy history, yeah, Benjamin, that email it, bro.
The introduction of the Gibson SG with its double-horned body has never been out of production. The only Gibson solid body guitar to always be in production since its creation in 1960. We have the mouse-eared F-hole semi-hollow body.
I think they should sue Epiphone.
Isn't that their own company?
Yeah. But they make exact copies.
So wait, Epiphone was originally just somebody who...
Epiphone was originally an independent company, mostly manufactured in Japan, and then they were bought by Gibson, yes.
Huh.
I don't know what year all that happened, but I know for a fact that a lot of the older Epiphones were Matsumoku made. I don't know the company history beyond that. Anyway, back to the videotape.
With the ES 335, 345, and 355 that graced so many albums of the 50s and 60s, all the way to Ted McCarty's most iconic designs in the futuristic series, like the Flying V and Explorers.
The Flying V and the Explorer are fucking shit.
Of all times.
Yeah, they just kind of seem like a joke.
You can't fucking play them.
Oh, I've never like been attracted. I've never even wanted to pick them up.
The split diamond inlay that you'd find on the Les Paul Customer, the ES 355, or that crown, or some people call it pineapple inlay.
I mean, I do own a Gibson Ripper bass, and that's a nice bass.
All those innovations and design elements are trademarks of Gibson. Why does this matter? Well, for a few reasons. People ask us a lot about forgeries and counterfeit guitars, often of lower craftsmanship coming in from overseas. But there's some common misconceptions about what a forgery is and what trademark infringement is. Any copy of any one of those designs that we've named is, in fact, by definition, a counterfeit Gibson guitar. What that means for a couple different people. To the manufacturers out there, we want you to know that you've been warned. We're looking out, and we're here to protect our iconic legacy and the designs that we've created.
You
over
pause it for a second.
generations. It's all
Why now? Why did you wait? I mean, this has been going on for decades now.
Because they're in the toilet swirling with the flush, and they're trying to not go down the hole.
Yeah.
people in the film
It
and
took you
television
fucking
and
long enough,
commercial
bro.
industry. Reach out to us. We want to work with you. Stop taping over the logos on the inside. By the way, that's not enough to get out of a trademark infringement anyway. Contact us. We want to work with you. We want to be partners with you. We want to help bring authenticity to your projects. And this isn't about us trying to be bullies or trying to stifle the boutique marketplace. This is about protecting our legacy. 125 years of innovation and relevance.
That was basically like
It's worth protecting.
a butt statement right there. It's like, we're not trying to be bullies or, get anybody in trouble, but
I'm
it's
not
like,
trying to be a dick or nothing, but
anything anybody ever says before the word but is just completely ignore it, because
yeah.
Our job, and we will continue to fight to protect our intellectual property. And to all the players out there, what does this mean? Well, it goes back to what we started talking about, being original and playing authentic.
This guy's basically mad because you can buy a Gibson counterfeit from Asia for about $150 and set it up to play as good, if not better, than their made in Korea knockoff shit that they're selling you in this video.
But this is so hypocritical, man, because they make their guitars in other countries. Like,
Yeah.
They're just mad that now the globalism aspect of what they were doing is coming back to bite them in the ass.
But a lot of the factories that are turning out these counterfeits are probably the same fucking factories that their shit is being made in the first place.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, now all of a sudden you're mad because you decided to outsource this, or who knows, maybe they could have built them without already being them built, but they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They still want to make these guitars in other countries. But
So we have 30 seconds left.
all right.
Gibson's been investing money in our factories, in our team of people working in the content that we're creating.
Nobody
to
owes you
make
shit,
Gibson
bro.
experience the best and make the best guitars we've made in
Awesome, man.
125 years.
Nobody owes
It's
you
our
shit.
hope that for the next 125 years coming, it will be the most relevant, the most.
There's no 125 years coming for Gibson.
This makes me want to get rid of my Gibson
I got
Ripper. I gotta say.
I got $1 on that. They got 5 years.
Anybody
tops.
want to take that bet?
They got 5 years tops.
Loved and most played guitar brand in the world. Be original,
Wrong.
play authentic, and remember, only a Gibson.
And also, the Leo Fender electrics predate the Gibson electrics, so you want to play authentic, maybe you should get a fucking Fender in the first place.
It's good enough.
Dude.
Man, there's a lot to
Matt, thank you for
unpack there.
Yeah. I think, like you're saying, Jay, this is the last dying grasp of a company that hasn't been relevant for how long. And I think it's incredibly hypocritical to cry about your guitars being counterfeited around the globe, essentially. I mean, I guess that's what you're saying, is like you can buy copies, rip-offs. And, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. You want to make your guitars in these other places, but when there's copies of them floating around that abroad, now you have a problem with it? Like, fuck you. And just because you're investing in your factories and doing all this shit, nobody owes you anything. Your company has I can't really speak for it, but from what I know about it, I guess I'm more opinionated about this than I thought, but I think that's the nature of capitalism. If you're not making a good product that people are willing to buy from you, clearly if your guitars were actually good, people would buy them. But
also, if your midline models didn't start at fucking $2,500, probably you'd sell more.
Right, absolutely.
Because you can buy a sort of a low line actual Fender for about $1,000 less than that.
Right.
I
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. They know they fucked up with that video. Otherwise, they would have kept it. They wouldn't have taken it down, right?
I think they took it down because they didn't expect the kind of backlash that evidently that received.
Right.
Ruffle the fucking.
Great for them.
You ruffle the feathers and the chicken turns around to bite you. All of a sudden, you're running from the chicken. But, fuck 'em.
Yeah, good points all around the chat. You guys are knocking it out of the park. Matt said Behringer can buy them up.
Yeah.
Matt said they claiming they invented single cut shape. They haven't innovated in decades. They should celebrate. They should celebrate who they have inspired. Yeah, definitely. It could be a weird stunt. It kind of seems like I don't really know the whole thing. I mean, obviously I just watched the thing, but I don't really like the attitude of it. I feel like you see these kind of videos that come out from people on YouTube a lot, like YouTubers where they like do something wrong and fuck up, and then they approach the audiences and they like patronizing to them, you know. And I think that's kind of like what this is like. I mean, obviously Gibson's not like a YouTuber, but I don't know, like the Logan Paul thing when he fucked up with filming somebody who hung themselves in this forest. Like that's this guy who's like a big YouTuber.
Yeah.
And then he was like kind of audacious about it. And I feel like that happens a lot. And it kind of has that, the Fine Brothers, those dudes who make those videos like kids react to this and they like fucked up and, you know, we wanted to make like this global brand. Basically like we're going to make why don't you make react videos and we'll take a cut of them. Like they were trying to trademark the name like react videos or some shit. And they fucked up and their apology video was like super patronizing and like, you guys don't understand, we were like trying to do this good thing. It's like they're just trying to make money. It's like the same thing with Gibson, you know. I mean, I think I don't know, whoever's their head of brand experience, awareness, whoever the fuck that is, like I think you're doing a bad job. I'm not even sure what that job title means, but your brand experience sucks, and you should figure out something to do about that, which isn't like patronizing to people. Yeah. Man, I didn't know I was so opinionated about this.
No. Fucking touched a nerve, I guess.
I guess. I feel like I like have that ripper, man. I'm like, ugh. Like I don't even know if I want that thing anymore.
Are you gonna go throw that in a dumpster? Or?
I'm gonna go light that shit on fire.
Oh man.
No, it's a nice base.
I'll take the Hulk of that home once you're done.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's funny. It seems like a lot of companies...
Well, the Gibson that made that ripper is not the Gibson that exists now.
Yeah, I mean it's a 1970 something.
And the Gibson company that started in like some guy's side room making mandolins and small acoustics is not the same Gibson even that made your ripper. So.
Right.
You know.
I just think like companies, it's like make a good product. Yeah, Matt said just up your game. Exactly. I feel like it's very telling to see the state of affairs and like where Gibson is at, and also like maybe capitalism as a whole, like a larger view of it. It's like people can't afford to buy those type of guitars anymore. It's there's been this race to the bottom, and when it comes to all these commodities.
Yeah.
And now you're crying about it because you had a part in making it happen. Like fuck you.
Well, you know the fucked up part about that is for what a brand new, good quality Gibson would cost you. You could have somebody make you like a full ass, you know, custom to your spec guitar with the boutique guys that are out there now.
Right.
Yeah. You look at like, you know, it's like some of the, even like the simpler models of Gibson's, like the 335, right? That's a classic, like iconic guitar. But
Yes,
like,
ES 335.
yeah, but that guitar is like fucking $3,800 if you go buy one. Like,
that's why I never bought. I actually really like those guitars.
I gotta have a guy like out in Portland or some fucking place make me a really nice one with whatever pickups I want, with the fret wire I like and a neck shape that I'm a fan of for probably half that.
Right.
So, you know, why wouldn't you?
From somebody who's like an experienced luthier and
Yeah, and who can adjust it to taste,
mm-hmm.
not just selling you some shit at Guitar
Well,
Center.
and I think that's kind of the point of this is like make your commodity, what you're selling, like worth the price that you're fucking selling it at.
Yeah.
If you're selling something for $2,500, like it better not be a piece of garbage. Like as soon as somebody picks it up and tries playing it.
Yeah.
Because you know the difference between like.
And also, is it just me, or has like every Gibson always been like the heaviest piece of shit you've ever strapped on?
Dude, that
to
ripper
your
is like
body?
the heaviest bass I've ever had. I feel like that's kind of the tone of it, but like it always feels like a baseball bat too. Like the neck of like those. What's the one with like the horns? The AC/DC one. That.
Screaming Eagle.
No, it's like,
That's an
don't they have like two main guitars? Like the Les Paul and then the other one.
Yeah, it's a Melody Maker and an SG. AC/DC?
Oh, SG. That's
Yeah,
what it is. Yeah,
Melody
even like the
Maker and
SGs,
SG.
they always feel like the back of it feels like a fucking baseball
Yeah,
bat
yeah.
neck or something. It's weird.
Well, you know what's weird about those is the neck, like the Epiphone ones.
Oh,
the
thanks,
neck,
man.
the neck profile is like, it's not the worst shape ever, but I feel like when I got one in my hand, it's almost like the fretboard is like sunken too far into the neck profile. I'm like clamping my hand. Tom's got one, and like it's like when you fucking play on it, it's like I feel like I'm fucking. I don't even know. It's not natural. Maybe I spent too much time in Fenders and
Personally, man,
Japanese
I've always
things,
been a
but-
Fender person. Like, I've always been more attracted to the Fender guitars. I always thought they sounded better. They were sounded for what I wanted to do. But obviously, I don't own a Fender anymore. All I have is my Silvertone. But
I'm a big fan of First Act.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Well, I think that's a great example, right? I mean, now you so let's just like for
I now have two of them, so.
right. Yeah, you just picked up another one. That was a nice pickup, man. I feel like that's a great example of the state of guitars right now because you can okay, say you were saying I've heard of people buying $150 Squire. They go to the store, they look at all the cheap Squires, Fender Strat style, and
Yep.
they play each one and find one that feels good to them.
Yep.
And they take that home, pull out the guts, swap out the tuning keys,
Put all real Fender shit in
put
it.
all better stuff in it. Maybe it's
Yeah.
cost them $500, and now they have a guitar that's the same as like the custom shop shit.
Yeah, sure.
So my point is like, for $500, you can get like a top of the line, amazing sounding, brilliant guitar, and then on the flip side, for $2,500, you can go and look at Gibsons that are really not the best of quality. So to me, it's like, are those Gibsons 5 times better than somebody who can go and get a? Because I don't think like it's almost like authenticity doesn't matter anymore in our culture. I mean, that's a bigger.
I think what matters when you're buying guitars anyway is what.
But I mean, that's
what
the
feels
message
good and
they're
what
trying to
has your
say,
sound.
though, is like, you just need to buy authentic, whether it sucks or not. Like, get the authentic, genuine copy of something, and it's like, if the authentic, genuine copy isn't 5 times better than something you can put together, like a really like the cheapest one you can find, and then soup it up, like, you're doing something wrong. I think.
Twin and John Pittman just swung in.
Oh, what's up, guys? Yeah, we're fucking going off the rails right now. If you're just joining us, oh shit! Well, thanks for coming through, John. I finally figured out how to stream to the scheduled events too. So, if you ever see the last Wednesdays of the month is what we're planning to do now for the 44 live stream. Brian and I are planning on playing once a month. We're gonna try to get together if we can, because he's been wanting to play live more. And I've been wanting to just hang out with him because I don't really see him that much anymore. So he lives in New York, so we're gonna try to do that. So, but just look out for scheduled events. But just know that last Wednesdays is when we're gonna This is when we're gonna be doing this. But and also if you see the scheduled event, you can, I think, click on it and it will like give you a reminder before we do this, like 30 minutes beforehand. So, but thanks for coming through. It's good to see you guys. We were just talking about the Gibson controversy that's been floating around. Matt got us going on this topic, so hashtag not sponsored, hashtag probably never will be sponsored after that.
Hashtag glad to not be sponsored
after that
because I don't want to
died,
have to rep some shit like that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Fuck that.
But
you know, those first acts that I like too have the same scale as the Gibson.
yeah. Do they? So what? It's based on like an SG?
I don't know what the hell it's based on, but
Benjamin said if the guitar can stay in tune forever, it's maybe worth $3,800.
it better change its own fucking strings too.
Yeah.
For real, like it better set itself up when I'm not looking and keep its own neck correctly relieved through the seasons, and yeah, better have legs too. I'm not carrying it for $3,800. I'm not carrying
It
it.
better come with its own hoverboard that just like
For real.
moves it along. Matt said you get 90% of the quality in the first couple hundred, then spend 4K for the last 10%.
Yeah.
I think that's the 80-20 rule, man, at work right there. For you get a lot of what a guitar is. It's a lot of what a lot of things are. Is that first 80%, and then getting that next 20% to get to 100 is almost usually not worth it. And it's also the law of diminishing returns. The more you're spending on this, it's like, I guess that was my whole point. Is like now you can get these guitars that are, $100, less than $100, $150 that, blow stuff out of the water or are perfectly fine quality, 80%, 90% there. Why is anybody going to go spend $2,500 on something? Maybe if Gibson dropped their price by 5x and started charging $500 for these guitars, they're trying to make a big profit, but maybe people would be more apt to buy them. Like if you could buy this 5 guitars for the same price as one, like if you got a problem with not being able to make them or not being able to sell them, like I don't know.
Well, clearly they're still making them every single day, so they must be going somewhere. And once they're in the hands of a dealer, they're technically paid for already. So
yeah,
because the dealer has to buy stock either on terms or whatever. So
yeah, I remember those robot tuners. Yeah, where you just
those are fucking horrible.
You just like strike the strings, and then it'll be like
horrible.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, I think there's a reason those didn't catch on.
Yeah,
I remember seeing those like 10 years ago.
Because they break strings. There were Gibsons and Epiphones that came with those factory installed.
I remember that.
Horrible.
I remember that.
They used to also have one that was like a little wand that you plugged your cable into and you put it on the tuner.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
No, what does it do?
It was like a wand. It kind of looked like it should have been like a kitchen mixer or something, but it had like a string winder built into the snout of it. And you'd plug your cable in and put it on the string and hit it, and it would go. Same deal.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody removed those robo-tuners.
Like, for fuck's sake, if you can't tune your guitar, why are you buying a guitar that costs $3,000 in the first place?
Right. And because I feel like the only segment of the population who actually cares about $2,800, $3,800 guitars are people who just have them, who is like a doctor, a lawyer kind of person who just wants a guitar to play wants to play a couple chords they know, put it on their wall. Like, I don't know anybody
who
who
can
really afford
sofa
it.
with a $50,000-$60,000 car in the driveway, and one even more expensive than that in the garage.
Like, why, because like I can't imagine anybody playing live would want. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking around with a $2,500, $3,800 guitar.
You know what happens when you do that? You end up in the fucking articles and all these news magazines about people whose shit got stolen.
People whose van got broken into.
That's what happens. Get you that fucking Gibson molded hardshell case, says Gibson on it, this fucking big. Yeah. All it takes is a tire iron to get that out of your van, and that fucking thing will be 6 towns over in a swap shop by morning. So.
Robo tuners and all.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. There's no merit to those things at all. And especially if an asshole like that is the figurehead of the company, man. Like,
yeah. I don't know who that guy was, but.
Well, he's clearly the marketing director of brand approximation or whatever the fuck it said.
Dude, that guy should just lose his job straight out, man.
For real.
I don't know.
Well, no, because there was probably somebody much higher up than him that had to okay that fucking thing. So.
I just don't understand if your brand awareness, brand experience with their fuck, why would you think that would be a good experience for anybody? Like that's, like you can like, with or without it, and they have to take it down, but like you can just tell the attitude of that video is like, I feel like that's something you show your employees to try to like rev them up, not pontificate and patronize like potentially future customers.
Some of the really good.
This is how great we are. This is why you should buy our shit.
Some of the really good.
Authentic. It's like
some of the really good boutique guys have been putting up
shit.
They've been putting up memes about that shit for like the last couple of days, like Pure Salem.
I guess everybody kind of feels the same way then.
Yeah, they're just fucking.
But I mean, like that's a pretty big like, like fall flat on your face move. I think.
Yeah, that was not a smart move, but
That said, it's crazy that Gibson's subsidiary Epiphone has always done better things than the parent company.
Yeah, it's because Epiphones have always been historically cheaper.
Matt said Asia just has their shit together in quality control without costing $2,800.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the whole point too. In that Squire discussion I was saying before, those guitars I think are made in Korea. Great guitars. I mean, people just go to the shop, find the one they like, pull out all the guts, refinish them, or I mean, put new custom shop stuff in them, and boom, there you go. Because it just goes to show.
Well, let's be honest. Who buys a guitar modern day and doesn't change the pick guard or the pickups or upgrade the tuners anyway?
I guess my point was that like it shows that those guitars are as well made as the custom shop ones.
Sure.
If people are willing to just
Although
the only difference is the price. But I mean, like I feel like that's the whole point, is that this idea of like globalization, where it's like, well, we'll outsource the labor to some other poorer part of the world because we can pay them less. But even though you're paying them less, they're doing just as good of a fucking job.
Yep.
So then then it's just not fair trade, because now you're not willing to pay this person what you're paying these American workers who can't make a guitar to save their fucking life.
You know what the difference is? Unions. That's what the goddamn difference is.
I just don't understand why you're gonna cry about something that you've put into motion. You started this whole.
They set it up that way.
But
for sure.
That's what I mean. It's like, it's just so hypocritical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
in
still
your
got that
pursuit
dollar
to
on.
make even more money, you've essentially taken yourself out of the running.
Yeah.
And you're making stuff that sucks. Maybe if you made something that was actually good, people would spend the extra 5 times the amount of money to pay you to do it. I don't know, just a thought.
I think the Asian market stuff is more than acceptable for 95% of the people who will ever play one. You know? But Gibson should have squirreled away and become a small boutique company selling to the higher ups and let the fucking Epiphone stuff flourish.
That's awesome, Jeb. Gibson wants to be an exclusive brand like Harley. They cater to rich doctors, rich collectors, forget about real working bands. I'd say that's spot on. No, I've never seen that, Twin.
Doesn't surprise me that
There you go. There's just
Gibson stole
part
the
of
Les Paul
the
design.
hypocrisy.
But did you know also that the original shape of the Les Paul was the SG?
Oh, really?
That was the guitar that was designed for Les Paul.
Interesting. I never knew that. I don't really know much about Gibson, to be honest.
And Les Paul's guitar invention was the log. Did you ever see that?
No.
The sides like unclipped from it. It was like a jumbo hollow body thing, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he had like designed and built this thing. Sort of unrelated, but interesting. And that had the double cutaway kind of deal, I believe, or maybe it was a single cut. We'll have to look that up after, but.
Anyway, man, that was quite the tangent. I
Bit of a
didn't
rabbit hole there.
I didn't know I didn't know I
Bit of a rabbit hole
felt that
there.
opinionated about any of this stuff. So thanks for that. That was interesting to go down that road and see what I thought about it. I just think it's crazy when these huge corporations complain about this shit, and they just don't seem to have any like awareness that about it. Oh man, what a funny time we live in.
I would say buy guitars that you like the feel of playing and buy them used when you can do that acceptably, because fuck big companies like that anyway.
Yeah.
Fender included, really.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Because
I got rid of all the ones.
The
Mexican ones were pretty good.
The Mexican ones actually were really good, even compared to a lot of the American ones. But
speaking of buy used, buy vintage, buy cheap.
yeah.
I got this $20. Sorry, Jay, I don't mean to encroach on you. $22 at the antique store in New Paltz. Booyah! Jay thinks it may be an airline. It sounds fucking sick.
It's gotta either be an airline or a Harmony.
It's cool, just a thing kicking around. It feels great. I walked over to it, saw it at this antique place. It was just sitting there. It came with a leather case.
Fucking wallet started throbbing and shit.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, exactly. No, I really haven't been buying much gear anymore.
Nah.
And I used to have, my mom had a guitar like this from like the 60s or 70s, and basically one of my friends kept it, but
I would bet that's 60s.
yeah, it seems like a lot of people had these style like nylons back then.
Yeah, because they're Montgomery Wards or Sears sold.
Yeah, just like the
Almost
silver
all of
tone.
them. Yeah.
But this is definitely my pickup of the year, easily.
The pickup of the litter.
The pickup of the litter. And it's just a cool guitar to have kicking around, like. But
It's
oh yeah, it looks like it was damaged there. I didn't notice that.
No, it feels like the varnish alligator.
Oh, weird. I thought it had like a crack.
Oh, yeah, that might have been refinished actually.
It said
the
as
texture
is.
on the
Yeah,
back is-
yeah, the back is like that.
Texture on the back is not quite the same as the.
Weird. Well, I guess that's why it's $22. But
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm not a collector. I'm just a player.
I'm telling you.
I think that's the other part, right? Anybody who's actually like playing these instruments, not collecting them, or not a doctor or lawyer who can afford to buy them, like it just comes down to you want something that plays cool. That's my point with this. I picked it up and immediately I was like, this thing's sick. I like the feel of it.
If
22
you-
bucks?
If you have more than 2 guitars, you're a collector. For one thing.
Shit, I have 3 now.
But you know,
Ah, fuck.
Christ, I really can't remember how many I've got now.
Yeah, that was my whole point in getting rid of my other electrics, was because I had 2 other Fender Strats that I just never played, and I was just like, I don't really think I'm gonna play these much anymore. So, whew. Man, did we miss any questions out there? Sorry, we've been the chat's been pumping, and I didn't really, I don't know. We were going off the rails on that Gibson stuff.
I think I'm at 10 guitars now.
10?
I think I'm at 10. Not including basses, just guitars.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I didn't really. Oh, you must have some hiding. Do you have any like really nice ones? I could hit the restaurant.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when you come back.
Cool.
So, what's everybody else been up to? While Mike's taking a PSUs. A little breaky break. There's so much delay on this that I probably won't get responses to that question before he gets back, but I think the student guitars actually are the best ones to play, truthfully. It's I've been playing these fucking first act things, you know, brand new. They were probably $100 guitars, and I've been getting them at yard sales for like 20 bucks. And you know, the neck shape feels good, the weight's nice, you can upgrade it to be whatever you want. They take a setup well. You know, and if you destroy it or somebody steals it or whatever happens to it, you're not really out anything, and it's a repeatable guitar. I mean, there's thousands of them out there, all made just about the same damn way. So Adam, you recording a band?
Oh, were you in the middle of anything? I just realized.
No.
So the one thing on the live stream title, I came across new 424 Mark III power supplies on eBay right now. They're only 25 bucks, I think. Because at one point, I remember talking about this with you. Somebody's charging like $100.
It's just ridiculous.
They had a monopoly over the 424 Mark III power supplies. But basically, if you need a replacement supply, I was thinking about buying a couple in case people contact me needing one. But I'm sure hopefully they'll be around for a while. But let me find a link to that. But I guess that was one of the talking points I wanted to mention, was if you need a power supply for your Mark III, because they're the easiest thing to lose in the world, they're on eBay right now. Looks like new production, and I think they're 25 bucks. So grab one. I don't the quality seems alright. I haven't tried them out, but hashtag not sponsored. But oh, they're only $20 actually. 122 sold. So that's pretty sick. Free shipping. So if you need one,
So they took a universal power supply AC adapter, and they cobbed a DIN plug on the end of it. That's what it is.
15 view per day. Wow. I'm gonna bump it in the chat real quick. Yeah, it's just like I was looking up this adapter. It's like I forget the brand of it because I was like, I wonder where they're getting these from.
Probably bulk from Japan
Yeah.
or China or
Anyway,
somewhere.
something like that. I just thought it was interesting just because, like I said, at one point I was looking for one, or somebody's asked me where to find one because they actually brought it to my attention. It was like, hey Mike, I want to get one of these. Do you have an extra one? And I said, no, unfortunately not. They're like, they're $100 on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking outrageous.
Skiz, those wide range humbuckers are pretty sweet, but I don't own anything that has one in it yet, so I don't have a lot of like hands-on experience with them, other than playing, guitars at stores that had them in. But like Sonic Youth guy Lee Ronaldo always put those in shit, and his tones are pretty cool, so I'm with that. But yeah, I'm trying to think, man. I think I might have more than 10 guitars, actually. It's bad. Jagstang Music Master ET270, ET275. No, 1922. The Russian one.
I think I've only seen like 3 of them.
Two first acts, Telecaster, which is bombed the fuck out. The good acoustic, 2 Harmony Stellas. It's 11. There's a Washburn Lion that I used when I got some real sketchy amps to test out. An Intermark Cypher. That's 13 6 strings.
13 worth to it?
Yeah, that's 13. And then I have the
Where do you keep all these?
in my house.
I don't think I've ever been in your house.
You haven't. Most people haven't.
You keep it under lock and key.
Yeah, it's because it's a fucking shit show in there.
Really? Because there's like 13 guitars.
Because there's like fucking enough pieces of shit laying around in there to like build a whole fucking recording studio from scratch, probably, if you really got busy with the iron.
Yeah, I remember that too. Jeff said he remembers you showing the Russian one at the studio.
Yep.
You have a bass like that too, right?
No, I have that.
People were asking about that bass.
Big
that
Muff
time.
bass.
The white one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The B bass. That was an $89 eBay special. I've never set it up. All I did was put new strings on it when I got it because the stock strings sucked.
Oh, Stefan's here. Hey, Stefan, what's up? I didn't see you come in, man.
But in the bass department, I have a 90s half-size Sensonics. I have the Thunderbird. I have that white bass that you're talking about. So there are 3 basses.
Oh wait, I do have another. I just remembered. And you said Sensonics. I have that.
Yeah, at my house.
That electric one.
At
Yeah,
my house
I
is
forgot
that
about that.
Yep.
The one we're gonna put the fuzz in, the onboard fuzz,
Well,
right?
it's in there. Just
Oh, cool.
it's got to be sorted.
Nice. I forgot all about that one. Because Tim had that, and then he gave it back when he's moving. That's right.
And there are 3 complete drum sets also in that studio.
Oh. That I think I
Plus
knew.
a whole bunch of extra pieces that I set up like a big boy like giant vintage kit one time with that like 36 inch or whatever kick drum.
Yeah,
32,
yeah.
whatever that thing is in the closet. I have some giant toms that go with that too. But that's not a complete kit. So yeah. That Russian guitar actually is a really cool guitar. It's just fucking, it eats strings because I beat the fuck out of it.
Adam was asking what drums you got.
Um,
Do you have Ludwigs?
The main kit is a Ludwig.
That's
yeah.
the orange one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Birch Ludwig from 2005 or maybe 2006. There's a 80s Pearl Export in the closet, which is nothing special, probably 80s. And then there's a 1960s Mica swing line kit in the other closet. It's a little kit, it's a 20-inch kick, and it's a 12 rack, and I have a Slingerland floor that somebody gave me. It goes with it. It's a 16.
Thanks for coming through, Benjamin. Good to see you.
Later on.
Have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Lee put those in a bunch of guitars, and actually his Fender signature model is a Jazzmaster Jaguar, whatever body shape with those in it. It's called the Jazz Blaster, I think was his. Good luck finding one.
Jazz Blaster.
The Thurston Moore one had fucking same shape, but it had I think dual humbuckers in it. But yeah, good luck finding either one of those for less than like fucking probably about $3,000 now. I don't think they made them for very long. Yeah, I think the new ones actually are not a different size cutout even than a standard humbucker, but the original ones had that super wide dual coil wind in them. They're pretty cool.
Matt said 2 guitars is too few for me. I need at least 4 single coil Strat, humbucker, acoustic, and 12-string acoustic. I never played a 12-string.
No,
No.
they're pretty fun,
Yeah, that seems like it'd be right up my my alley though.
especially a 12-string electric,
Yeah.
because they're usually like either chambered body or hollow body.
Yeah, yeah. They always seemed appealing, but I never like could get my hands on one.
They're a lot harder to come by and a lot more expensive in the electric
Yeah,
kind of category.
That was kind of my vibe.
The acoustic ones, you can get a decent 12-string for probably about $600, but in the electrics, I think they started a lot more than that. I always liked the Fender 12-string that they made for a while, the XII. You ever see that thing?
No. Oh
Like
yeah,
a-
yeah,
with
yeah. It's
like
like
the little stocking cap headstock.
yeah,
tip
yeah. It's
on
like the
it.
bass. Is it called the bass XI?
No, that's
No.
the bass 6.
Oh, the bass 6. I'm like,
Yeah, VI, bass VI.
12-string Danos. Okay.
Yeah, those are pretty neat too, but he's sort of got that vibe already hanging on the wall behind him, minus the octave set.
Oh, Andrew, yeah. Send me an email, man. I'll check that out. He said I built a 12-string electric. Yeah, I remember you were
Nice.
building guitars because you said, would anyone be interested in inexpensive hand-built guitars? I mean, yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely the Novak pickups. I've heard really good things about those. That would be sick, man. Yeah, let's chat, bro. That'd be awesome. Actually, Ben, who was on the stream this past weekend, him and his buddy too he said they're starting to build some electrics for fun, and they were like, "Hey, do you want one?" I was like, "Oh, sure." Tell people about it. So yeah, that would be sick. I'm all about checking out inexpensive guitars, man. Let's do it. That's crazy, a 12-string. I'm excited, man. Let's check it out. Because let's be honest, Gibson's not going to be sending anything anytime soon after this stream.
Yeah, you actually should go for it. You should do something weird. Do a 10-string.
10-string.
Yeah, because the 12-string, the 2 high strings are just doubled. There's no high octave
okay, so
there.
there's like.
So
Wait,
all your
is it like
octaves-
chimey or like chorusy, like or
You know that
octavey?
a Telecaster that's at the studio with the high strings on it?
I think so.
I know you've seen it.
Yeah, I think I think when I remember.
That's strung with the octave set from a 12-string, basically. I put it together myself.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
if you play that underneath a regular 6-string,
That's
but,
right, yeah.
but you vary your chords, you add some crazy chimey chorus shit to it.
That's wild, man. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, email me, dude. I'll definitely check that out.
Do the string it up, what do they call it, Nashville high strung.
Oh, this is Jeb's 12 string, he said. Whoa.
Hey, that's that Fender, that's the whole Fender shape though.
It's like
Got
cut
a
off,
mastery
or-
bridge on it. No, look up the Fender 12 strings.
Oh, that's the thing.
Type it in. You gotta look at vintage. Should be an electric one.
Whoa, the pickups are like that on these?
Yeah.
It's like a two P-bass pickups
Oh,
almost.
it's different than what I was thinking, but
Huh.
the way that back body shape is cut off though, there's a Fender model that had that, like the 60s.
Oh, that's the acoustic. Whoops.
Yeah.
That thing's pretty, Jeb.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. It looks like a mastery bridge on it, fixed probably. Tailpiece rather. Interesting.
Yo, Backwood Guts, what up? How about a Boss DC2? I'm not sure what that was. Oh, as like the 12-string sound. What is that? Which one is that? The digital. I think I had one of those at one point. The Digital Dimension or something. Oh, Dimension C. Okay, that's like what it's. Is that supposed to be like?
What about it?
Wait, they made a Wazacraft one of those?
Yeah, they brought it back with Waza.
Wow.
It's all presets.
Yeah, it's like there's only 4 switches, right? I think maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming that maybe that's similar to the sound.
Not sure.
Yeah, it seems like a cool project, man. Did you use that in any of the tracks that you sent, or on ones on SoundCloud? Cause I feel like your stuff always kind of has like a extra octave in there. Or I remember there was tracks that you had sent that sounded like they were done with a 12-string. Damn, you guys have some cool ass guitars. Yo, Brian, what's up, man? You back in action? We've got the sound working, man. You should check out earlier in the stream. We did our Jay and I's noise project. We played a set. Our cafeteria piece we've been working on.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Epic echo loop.
Epic echo loop.
I think it was because you had the desktop audio on.
I know. I was wondering if I clicked that back on, what would happen. I don't understand what that's.
It's not still looping right now, I think, or your VU would be reading, but.
Yeah, I have it muted here. I think if I click that, though, it'll be like, start doing it again.
Click it.
All right, we're gonna attempt a second take of our noise project. Let's see what happens.
Right now, I think, or your VU would be reading, but.
We turned out the desktop audio. Let's see if we get a. I think if I click
because
that,
you had the
it'll
desktop
be like,
audio on.
start. I know. I was wondering if I click that. All right, we're gonna attempt a second.
It's
I don't know.
not still looping right now, I think, or your VU would be reading.
Yeah, I have it muted here.
Right now, I think.
I think if I click that, it'll be like,
Yeah, desktop audio.
we might try it right now. All right, we're gonna attempt a second. I know. I was wondering if I click that. All right, we're gonna attempt a second.
It's not still looping right now, I think.
It's going. It's happening. I think if I click that. All right, we're gonna attempt a second. Take. All right, we're gonna attempt a.
Right now, I think.
It's going. It's happening. All right, I think if I click that. All right, we're gonna attempt a second
I think it's got to unravel.
the pig. Whee! Are we back from planet number 9? I can still hear it a little bit. It's like what?
That's because it's coming off my phone.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know. I can't figure it out, man. It's some desktop audio setting. So
Well, it happens because it's looping through your broadcast program. But it's
Revolution
also
424. It's happening.
but it's also looping off the phone. So the delay on the phone plus those two things feeding back loops it all through itself.
Huh.
And then you get this big crazy ball.
Dude, that's the new jam right there. We went from having no sound before to that.
To being able to do weird
to
tricks
having
like that.
as much sound as you could ever
Holy
want.
shit.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, you could always go back and sample it, man. Definitely, I would love to hear some like Revolution number 424 stuff out of that. I gotta find the tracks people have been sending me the past year and make a comp out of them. Oh, Matt, no, I haven't seen that. The music black box. No, let's check it out. Oh, music black box.
Yeah, we're good now.
Oh, I have seen this actually. Yeah, Vincenti actually sent me a thing about this. It looks pretty crazy. I'm not really sure if I understand how it works exactly. Compact sampling studio. That's cool. It's really cool that somebody made a. Well, I don't know if is it a direct competitor or is it just like a similar. It's like about the same price too. Interesting. Yeah. So Brian and I. Yeah, we're good now, Adam. Yeah, so when we streamed the other day, Brian and I figured out, I think I was saying this at the beginning, I don't know if anybody heard, but something was fucked up with the audio. We had it all set to go. I'm probably going to post those tracks and like the video from it, because Brian recorded like really good audio, and the other time we did it from his place, it actually worked, and I couldn't figure out, I'm not really sure why it didn't, but I was testing some stuff out before this stream tonight. And I think I finally figured out a few things, and we definitely figured out how to do our little noise soundscape, which is cool, and why that was happening. But it's gonna be good, man. I feel like we finally got there. But my point was that something with the audio with Brian and I, we got to figure that out. I think I'm gonna get one of those Behringer Euphoria things I think I was telling you about. I don't know. Ben had one the other day. It seemed alright. So I just need something quick and dirty for my PC.
Figure out what it's a clone of. That's all.
Yeah.
Read the reviews of that.
Because that's definitely what it is, right?
I'm sure it's a clone of something.
Well, what's your take on this, Jay? So some people say, signal path. Some people say that like
Click that one, clone archives.
a mixer is like is noisier than an interface. Is that true?
Well, they're not one and the same thing.
No.
No.
How do you remember hearing that it was a clone of something?
Everything Behringer makes is a clone of something. They don't design a goddamn thing, so.
I don't know. Anybody out there have any of that Behringer Euphoria line of stuff? I was impressed with what Ben had brought over. I think he just had this one, the $40 one, or one of these simple ones. Shit, if I can get like a 4-channel one for $70.
They actually kind of look like the,
Tascam?
no, there's one you used to be able to get at Best Buy. Forget who made it.
$150, 4-channel.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to get like an 8-channel one, to be honest, just for future expandability.
Kind of looks like it could have been a copy of either Focusrite or even UA a little bit. But who knows?
I was impressed, I gotta say. I mean, I only checked it out a little bit, but it sounded good. It was like pretty
Back up a little
pretty
bit.
clean.
It's the red one.
Focusrite. I gotta say, I was definitely impressed with it.
It kind of looks like Presonus also.
Yeah.
If it was blue instead of black.
Oh, okay, so this one's 250. That's getting up day. Right. What about like a Motu? No, the knob style on this one reminds me of like the Motu stuff.
Yeah, maybe a little.
I don't know where the picture. I don't know, just like the way it's laid out.
I wish they would stop putting the fucking first 2-channel in-outs on the front panel.
Dude, I wish they were all on the front panel.
I wish none of them were on the fucking front panel.
Really? Is that-
IO does not belong on the front panel. of a
So
rack.
would you have like a rack where it was like, would you then get another strip that is like inputs on top of that? Yeah, it looks crazy out right now.
Well, that's what you use the patch bay for.
Huh. That's what I mean. Oh, so I mean like you still have a patch bay. My biggest thing is like if I'm gonna be doing stuff live or we're gonna be switching. I mean for us like we're not gonna be like switching mics out. I was thinking eventually I'd like it'd be cool if we each had a mic. You know, almost like it was a podcast and we had like those arms.
You gotta figure out how to make that integrate into that wonky dick PC program though.
I think once
That program is what causes your delay, I'm sure of it.
oh yeah, I mean I think I can change it right here. This duration thing, 250 milliseconds. Oh, maybe not. I gotta look into it, man. This program, yeah,
It's funky.
I think that the YouTube stuff that was on like a bigger delay now because of all the nefarious parties doing shit, you know, like people live streaming bad stuff. So like in case, I don't know.
Wait, that was a thing?
Well, there was like that guy who was like live streaming when he like went on a rampage and stuff. Like
I saw there was one that like some woman was like live streaming from a car, like hanging out of it, and fucking they got in a car accident.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong. It might be the program. I think I didn't. I mean, there wasn't this big of a lag with the. What's interesting is I feel like the chat isn't like behind. Like we're like able to interact with everybody.
Yeah, but what we're talking about on screen is behind where the chat is.
Or is ahead of where the chat is.
Well, like, no, it's behind where the chat is. They'll ask us something in real time on the chat. We respond to it. They don't get the response for 20 or 30 seconds at least.
Oh, so you guys have the Euphoria then? So you guys like it? Does it seem pretty cool? Good for the price? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just need something like quick and dirty for my PC to like get audio into it. Because I was messing around with the line in on the computer, and there was like crazy digital like computer noise. It like picks up the noise of the fan. It's not good. It's not good, folks. We love thinking about it. Maybe I'll just have to roll. Oh, the Tascam 24. Yeah, I think Matt was saying that doesn't record the tracks at once, though.
They're just saying in the chat that it will only record all of them at once.
Yeah, I think if I had, oh yeah, behind a little bit. What's up, Ostrich? I think if I had the funds, I would just go with the 24, even though it seems like it doesn't.
Why is there no adding parts later on the Tascam 24?
That's very odd.
Why in the fuck would you build a recording device that doesn't allow you to stack tracks if it's anything more than a 2-track, like, field recorder deal?
It must just be like they thought maybe just people in live use would use it. Only like it's for like a club or something.
I don't know what fucking sense that would even make.
I don't know either. I think that's a misstep.
If you had a duo and you were
I'd consider
recording,
getting that thing if it recorded.
Yeah, no, that's bougie, man. You can't fucking do nothing with that.
What's the point?
None. You made
Matt
Tascam
said-
some money.
Matt summed it up. It's a nice looking live mixer with ability to save the mix. Jeremy, I heard from Jeremy recently. He sent me the article about. I'll have to drop him an email, see what up. He sent me the article about the Tascam 424 Mark IV idea. You know, where we were saying
yeah.
like he was the one that hooked me up with that. So he's out there floating around. But yeah, we're missing some peeps. Dakota, I haven't seen Dakota in a while. I don't know if I don't know. I can't. Like, we're missing some peeps out
Bill
there.
Jim, what is going on with that?
Bill Jim. What? No. Okay, I think Bill Jim is Bill. I think I'm finally able to. Bill Jim, have you been pulling our leg this whole time about this whole thing? Just seems it's getting. That seems crazy. Band posers were caught digging out the band members' graves and smearing their bone dust all over their sweaty, naked chests. Hot summer night.
What?
Unless the call is coming from inside the house. Are you one of the band posers? And that's how you know so much about them. Oh, that's right. I remember the hot chocolate.
Yeah.
The hot chocolate spilled into its story. Yeah, I do think the aesthetic of the 24 is really sweet. I really like that too. The only mixers I was looking at mixers. What do you think those Allen and Heath? I think is the company. Or they're like Z10. I think was like the model. I just can't justify getting another thing, man.
Allen and Heath stuff's pretty cool, but it's, you know.
It's funny because
I
everybody
don't think
says
it matters what you buy modern day. Like, it's all kind of like the same shit.
the same shit. Yeah.
You know, it's not like.
Biggest thing for like this kind of stuff is people say don't get a mixer because it's noisy as compared to an interface. I'm not really sure if that's. Has that been your experience, like using mixers?
What about them?
Because they're designed for live use, that they're noisier than
not true.
interfaces.
It's not true at all. In fact, some of the most common mixers.
Because I think it would be dope to have a mixer
some of
right
the-
here.
But some of the most common
Mic to you,
mixers
mic to me.
used in small venues were actually designed for recording purposes.
Oh, okay. That's
Like
a
the
really good point.
Mackie 1604 VLZ Pro that exists in like almost every fucking small club in America.
Yeah.
That was designed to be an 8 in, 8 through split inline console. And that's why it's labeled that way. That's why it only has 8 direct outs.
Right. Oh.
You were meant to hook that to an ADAT. So the first 8 would feed the ADAT. The next 8 would take the returns from the ADAT, and that would be your mix.
So, Bill Jim, the truth comes out.
I don't even know what that's in reference to.
I'm sad to say, but I've been completely fucking with you this whole time. So, Bill Jim is the person that's been talking about the band in Woodstock and how those people broke into the house of Big Pink and they were playing there. Do you remember this story?
Yeah, oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. He said, I felt bad at first, but it just escalated into this whole story. It's all good. I think that's hilarious, actually.
That's why I never found an article about it.
Yeah, I know. I
God
remember.
damn it.
I remember trying to look into that too, and because like Jay lives like right down the street from there. We should have realized that you were pulling our leg on that, but that was just too far. Yeah, I'm glad you finally went too far with it because we could see that that's not true. I think that needs to be like a short story or like a novel or a live action adaptation because that shit is hilarious. Good prank, Bill Jim. Good one. That's good. That's some good stuff.
I would say, to your point about people saying that having a mixer in your studio or in your setup makes things noisier. Anytime you add gain stages, you add the possibility of that, especially if you're shitty at gain staging or your impedances don't match. So it really depends a lot on what you do with it. If you take I don't know, let's say use that Allen and Heath Z thing as an example, right? That's a nice, like, fairly modern piece, low noise deal. But if you feed that down like the mic inputs on your Focusrite or on even your Apollo over there, you're gonna induce noise because it's not meant to run into those impedances.
Yeah, I was thinking about just getting something like this.
It doesn't work. It makes too much fucking noise. But for most people and most applications, you're not gonna even notice it once that shit is running through your whole rig.
Right.
Unless you got fucking ground loops and stuff, which that's a problem with your house wiring or your studio wiring or whatever more than it is the.
I just thought it was funny. There seems to be two camps online because I mean all the kids that are streaming Fortnite, they all say you gotta get an interface because the mixer, like, what do you need a mixer for? And I think that's true. If you just need a mic to record your voiceover, because eventually, I mean, I think it would be cool to do more live performances like we've talked about and like Brian and I were trying to do, and figure out the audio routing for stuff like that. Because last stream, if anybody was here, like I was saying, we had a really good audio setup and we recorded the whole thing on Brian's computer, but for some reason we had audio issues again. It wasn't Revolution number 424, but it was pretty bad. All right, permission to do a fake doc about it sounds good.
I'm gonna cap the mixer conversation and just say that I don't know if these guys are talking about the mixer and whatever this 22 track Tascam thing is or whatever. I don't know anything about that. But in a traditional sense, like every record you've ever heard on a professional format, like out of a big studio someplace on a even indie label, ran through a console on the way in and on the way back out.
Right.
So you tell me if mixer is a noise machine or something that imparts aesthetic and control.
Yeah, especially like. Well, I know you. wanted to cap it there, but.
I'll say too that
thing is so this thing hooks up via USB though.
Yep. So it's an interface in its own right.
Basically an interface then.
Yeah, it's an interface in its own right, but
it's not that these preamps are adding more noise like inherently than like.
Well, not if you're not feeding its 2-bus out to an interface. If you're doing it right in there, then it has the.
If you hook this right
conversion
up to the PC,
yeah, it has AD
we had two mics, one going to me, one going to you.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be more inherently noisy than getting.
Nope. Especially if you turn down the master level for the channels you're not using, and just for that added bonus, turn the master fucking trims down, the channel trims down too.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. I'd love to pull the trigger on something like this.
Yeah, but a USB mixer is an interface. That's sort of what we're talking about.
Right. That's what I don't understand.
It's coming up in the chat. Perhaps what Mike is referring to is the difference between a USB mixer and an interface, both modern. But the USB mixers, most of them output 2-track via USB. So if you hook that up to that computer and say you had, I don't know if that's got recording software in it or not, but if it did, you know, you open fucking Cubase or whatever, and that'll show up in Cubase as a left-right source.
Right.
You can only record stereo. A friend of mine's got one of those.
Is that what that means? That this is a 2-bus thing?
I don't know. But like I said, a friend of mine's got one of those, and when he first got it, he's got an Alesis one. It's the multi-mix. He first hooked it up, and I was there, and I was fucking with. He's got Cubase. I was fucking with it, and even though you have 6 mic inputs with EQ and the whole shit, all you get is the mix out. There is no individual. Even though by USB you should be able to transmit 16 fucking channels. They just didn't build it that way.
Weird. Yeah, that was like the big thing. Thanks to anybody who's talking about that. People were just saying like the USB mixers are just inherently more noisy than a digital interface, and I feel like I can't say for sure if that's true without having both of them here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference between most interfaces and that little mixer is that the interfaces have individual mic inputs and no EQ built in.
Right.
There's no mix bus, there's no, whatever.
Oh,
and the monitor returns are done actually via software, not via hardware like they would be in your USB mixer thing, but...
Cool. Well, see, this actually leads perfectly into what Andrew says. Like, I missed that live Instagram performance of the Be Cool Cowboy set, the one you and I did.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun. Yeah, I want to do more stuff like that. That's kind of where I'm getting at with wanting to get an interface now, because I feel like now with the setup that I have, it would be really easy to get a mixer interface, and then if I was in the right place and we had Wi-Fi or whatever, to stream a performance and start streaming some performances. Like Jay and I have discussed doing that. Brian and I have been trying to do that. I've also been wanting to do some acoustic stuff. I might do that one day, just because I want to go back and figure out a bunch of my songs and write them all out, like the chords, because I realize there's so many songs that I don't remember how to play like right off the bat. So I would like to start doing that. But that's kind of my roundabout way of saying that's why I want to get another interface or something, because I think it would be cool to have mics when we do the live stream that are really good quality, because right now we're just using the shotgun mic for my camera, and I guess it sounds pretty good, but I don't know, I thought it would be cool to do that, and then also be able to potentially, if it made sense, stream live performances from somewhere, because I miss doing that too. I think that was a lot of fun when we did that.
Backwood Guts, is a humbucker pickup supposed to sound better further from the strings as opposed to closer? Move mine closer and the guitar sounded bad. The closer you move it, the closer the magnetic field is, thus the hotter the pickup is of the string vibration. The optimal height of the pickup is where it sounds best to you and doesn't touch the strings. So it really depends on what you like. I tend to set mine pretty high because I like it to really bite and be nasty. But if you don't like that sound, I would back that further down towards either the pickup ring or the pick guard itself, whichever. Just don't drop it in. But yeah. So there's not really a supposed to, though, I guess is the point. If you look at like guitars that come off of production lines and stuff, the pickups are kind of set all over the fucking place. I'm not sure that without knowing the specifics of what the pickups are, you could even find an optimal.
Any Jay, what up with that? We're approaching the 9 o'clock hour. Matt, do you have any Jay, what up with that questions this week?
You might in about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, probably. Did we cover everything? I think. Yeah.
I think we did. I think we've
that's
run out.
Eventually, that's my goal, right? Is that I want to have. Now that I have this set up, make the audio, get the audio solid. Dude, that was hilarious in the beginning, and like the audio not working because of the program, and then I must have tested it like twice, and it worked fine both times, and then this time it was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna broadcast the audio, bro. There you go. Have fun with that one. And then we figured out the cacophony. That was fun. It's just been like, this has just been crazy. I think that's my biggest worry, right? Is getting interfaces, integrating it into the setup, because I feel like the mixer, you could potentially hardwire it, but the line in on this computer is noisy as hell. So there's so much digital noise and fan noise. It's like maybe it's my electric, but I don't think that's going to be a way to go. Jay, what about funky vintage? I want to see you clean a reel-to-reel. Yeah, we got to. That's one thing I want to do is document the MA80. Hey Mike, a video on writing music or documenting the writing process so you can recreate the music would be way cool. Wait, I'm not sure if I get that. A vid on writing music or documenting the writing process so you can recreate the music. I'm not sure. Do you know what that means, Jay? I'm not sure if I'm interpreting that right.
I mean, I feel like you've made those videos already, like crash course on writing songs.
Like I get the first part, writing music or documenting the writing process, but I don't get so you can recreate the music.
I think maybe they mean writing it, documenting how.
Oh yeah, okay.
You had set up for production and stuff.
Yeah, I actually did that video this week. It might not be exactly what you're thinking, but the Zap to the mix breakdown of the second track from the recent album. Because Bobby was asking, oh, I haven't seen Bobby. Where's he at? So that's like something maybe along those lines. I gotta, but yeah, I wanted to start doing something along the lines of what you're talking about, Andrew, live. Actually, I think would be really fun. I just haven't had time, but yeah, I like doing those videos too. So that's good to know, man. I'm gonna definitely keep that in the back of my mind because I could literally sit down and film that, and it'd be fun and easy to do. I appreciate the idea, man. And thanks for the feedback on that.
Rockers that have beards, but then perfectly groom and line them up. Is that rock and roll or just hipster turds?
Oh, okay. This is so we gotta get like a noise bite too. That's what I want to have too. Is like sound bites. So it's like, Jay, what up with that? So this would be like the segment of the stream. Okay. So I'll reread it. Rockers that have beards, but then perfectly groom and line them up. Is that rock and roll or just hipster turds? I know how I feel about this. I think if you're gonna have a beard, just let it do its thing naturally. I think once you start fucking with it.
I would say the idea of having your facial hair groomed and perfectly lined up and symmetrical definitely comes from hipster dickhead culture. But I think it's up to the individual user too. I mean, even back in like, I don't know, like fucking slightly post-colonial days and shit, motherfuckers were all walking around with sideburns like this and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Some of those motherfuckers were fancy and had like a barber that lined their shit up for them, so it's not all just hipster bullshit, but is it rock and roll? I don't know. Probably not really.
What did Gibson say? Be authentic.
Be authentic. Just let it grow however it
Just
grows naturally.
Let it
Stop
flow.
putting Rogaine on the fucking light
Let
patches.
it flow. Stop putting that beard oil in there. Stop. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I think it's like can be kind of. I don't know. You know what? It's your face. Do whatever the fuck you want. But
Yeah.
I think it's like. I think that gets to an element where it's like.
Well, there's that whole like hipster barber culture also.
Yeah.
Where, it's like just a bunch of like fucking bro dudes with like fucking all the same tattoos hanging out in like a straight razor shop with leather straps and stuff.
It's like barber shops could be really cool if I start becoming a barber.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of attitude. It's like I don't know. I feel like that's kind of something prevalent in our culture right now. Is like That could be really cool if I was a part of it.
Yeah. Ostrich, I don't know about setting up guitars like that one on the wall behind you. It's behind Mike. It's sort of, doesn't really leave you room for anything. Sort of just has a wood saddle, so if you're having trouble with that and you think it's the bridge, you might seek out a luthier who could maybe recarve a new one of those.
I feel like, Matt Mac nails it right there. My beard is strictly functional, messy and overgrown for the purpose of low maintenance. I feel like that's the whole point
Pretty
of
much.
growing a beard, is that you don't want to do maintenance on your facial hair. So
Well, I mean, sometimes it's a statement too.
to just grow it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I mean, like, I feel like the whole purpose of it is to just let it grow, not let it grow and then shape it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just find personally, my beard, when it's in a state of just like I let it go, and then when I start fucking with it, like trying to trim it, it just
It's all whacked
looks
out.
really bad, and then I just wind up shaving the whole thing off. So
Because you didn't take it to a bro dude that had like the templates for your
maybe
face.
I'm doing it wrong. I guess
They
I'm
make
doing it
face
wrong.
templates for that shit.
Do they?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different things. They got them for women's eyebrows and shit too. It's like this little fucking thing that goes on there, and like you fucking dress
It's so
up around
funny,
it.
like
and shape
people,
them in.
how
Sure.
obsessed people get about their appearance.
Yeah, ostrich. I don't know if I.
You want me to
covered
grab
that
it?
enough, but it's like that block is not something that you can adjust other than by a process of slightly carving the contact where the string breaks over it. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's basically fucking impossible to do anything with that intonation wise.
Yeah, I feel like that's the
But-
one thing with that guitar.
Yeah, they weren't really designed to ever be intonated that way either. So, yeah, I mean, I think you really would have to seek out a luthier or craftsperson who's confident enough in carving a piece of, I'm going to guess that's maybe rosewood, but you could probably do it out of ebony or something. And that piece could be reshaped too, I would think. Looks like it just glues or screws to the bridge. Could be shaped with more of a knife edge so that it could have a, an actual intonatable saddle to it, kind of like acoustic guitars with a compensated saddle. So I'm sure there's options, but for me personally, I don't really know what they are. I don't have experience with trying to set these up at all. I sort of always have just assumed that either they played good and you bought it, or they played bad and you didn't.
Yo, I think that's like 100% accurate, because based on my own test case or playing case, this one plays great.
Yep.
I've never like adjusted the neck or anything to it, I don't think.
Does that even have a truss rod in the neck?
Yeah, it does.
Does it?
I've never adjusted it.
I'd be afraid to touch it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like right in there.
Yeah. What's the relief like on the neck though?
I don't really play it much. Well, the interesting thing is my buddy Sean bought one of these.
Jesus Christ, there's like zero relief in the neck.
That's bad.
I mean, if it plays good and you like it that way, then don't mess with it.
Yeah, I honestly love the way that it feels.
That's why you like that guitar that I got at the studio too. I forgot about that. That's the 14th guitar.
Which one is that?
The Shark Bell.
Oh, the one we did the live video with the other day? When I came over and had my guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you like that guitar though, because that neck's all fucked up from the winter time. The relief is like totally gone. It's got to be reset
So
up.
I just like fucked up guitars. So we're getting.
You just like a neck with not a lot of relief in it.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's a good case study with these. Is exactly what you said, Jay. Is like you either find a good one or you find a bad one. And I found a good one. My friend Sean found a bad one. He wound up getting rid of it because it was pretty much unplayable. It wouldn't stay in tune. He only paid $200 for it, so he didn't. I think he wound up getting $250 for it when he traded it into Guitar Center.
I think honestly, if I had one of those and I got it for cheap enough, I would take that bridge shit off and put a Tune-o-matic on it.
What's Tune-o-matic? Like, what is that usually on?
Gibson, like what's on the SG. It's a fixed tail piece with an intonatable bridge.
If this one ever gets to a point of no return, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all right now.
that makes the
though.
most sense because you could actually set the intonation then. But it would change the whole sound of the thing. That one sounds the way it does because of what it's built out of and the way that that bridge attaches with just like that one fucking star bolt down through it.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
If you gave it 6 points of connection with a, or 4 points of connection rather, with a tune-o-matic, then you immediately have changed the resonance and sustain of the instrument. But yeah, I mean, I think it's not nowadays that the dudes are trying to be as pretty as the girls. That shit started in the 80s with like fucking hair metal. You get all them dudes in like Poison and Rat and shit, like, you know, like you're wearing more CoverGirl than most of the girls at the show. That's pretty, you know, you do you, bro. But
Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say.
not calm down. We'll move to them.
That's what when I saw that, I thought it was like in that rhythm. Nowadays, the dudes are trying to be as pretty as the girls. I don't know. It's getting late, fellas.
Jesus, ain't that late.
No, it's not that late.
All right, it is 10 after 9
Just
though.
being
So
silly.
you want to fucking?
Guys, I mean, I think this was a success. Like in terms of the, should we do one more number 424 Revolution 424 on the way out?
What's that? Oh, the.
The infinite feedback.
Oh, you want to do another one?
We're doing it. All right, so do not adjust your setup. It's getting late, fellas. Number 424.
10 after 12.